Imagine yourself standing at the very nexus of the world, Times Square. The neon lights blaze with such intensity, they eclipse the stars. Colossal screens ceaselessly broadcast messages of opulent luxury, and the towering skyscrapers of Manhattan stand as enduring monuments to humanity's grandest achievements. You've been told, and perhaps believed, that New York is the immortal emblem of opportunity, the city that forever hums with life, the place where if you can conquer its challenges, you can truly conquer anything. But hold on, take a moment, look a little closer. As the sun dips below the horizon and that glamorous facade, so often sold to us, begins its inevitable fade, a different New York emerges. This is a New York shrouded in shadow, unsettling, and permeated by a depth of desperation so profound that even law enforcement, at times, chooses to avert its gaze from certain desolate corners. Behind the dazzling, aspirational image perpetually marketed to the world lies a stark reality that is steadily decaying from within. Welcome, then, to Homeless US. Today, we invite you on a journey into the authentic core of New York, a heart that is visibly fractured, profoundly weary, and beating with a rhythm that the glossy postcards would never capture. For what feels like the very first time in its storied history, the iconic neon glow of New York has ceased to inspire genuine hope. Instead, these brilliant lights now serve only to starkly illuminate the haunting solitude of those huddled beneath cold bridges and beside warm subway vents, living their lives as urban ghosts within the very city of billionaires. By 2025 and 2026, those nascent cracks have tragically widened into gaping chasms. We are witnessing an unprecedented crisis where over 100,000 individuals are forced to sleep in temporary shelter systems every single night, and a staggering 37,000 of them are defenseless children. This isn't merely an economic setback. It is a systemic, deeply ingrained abandonment of the most vulnerable among us. In this 50-minute special presentation, we are committed to diving unflinchingly into the hidden parts of New York, those very places the system desperately attempts to conceal. We will venture into the parallel universe that exists within the city's labyrinthine subway tunnels and expose the Wild West reality of Roosevelt Avenue, an area where all semblance of order has visibly eroded, even in broad daylight. We will confront the unsettling spectacle of tent invasions, spreading relentlessly from the Bronx all the way to Harlem. And in doing so, we will confront a piercing question. How has a city celebrated globally for its unparalleled civilization allowed so many of its own people to freeze, abandoned and alone, on the cold pavement? Please do not look away. What you're about to witness is not the romanticized New York of blockbuster movies or tourist brochures. This is the New York that has been left behind, a once vibrant city that is now, with chilling slowness, consuming its very own soul. The profound journey into the darkness that now envelopes the Big Apple commences right now. Part 2. The Parallel New York, Two Worlds, One City. New York is no longer a singular, unified city. It has, with disquieting certainty, fractured into two distinct and parallel worlds. By day, it pulses with the cacophony of loud opportunities and the crowded rush of countless dreams. But as the clock inevitably strikes midnight, the city visibly cleaves itself. There exists the New York that remains vibrantly alive and notoriously expensive. And then there's the New York that becomes chillingly cold, dangerously precarious, and retreats further into the obscure shadows where the relentless city light simply cannot penetrate. In numerous districts across the metropolis, the palpable withdrawal of civil order is almost physically felt. It extends beyond a mere shortage of personnel. It serves as an ominous sign of what we call abandoned zones, areas where the fundamental social contract, once the bedrock of community, has been eroded to a mere whisper of its former self. This is the authentic New York that no glossy travel vlogger would ever dare to film. A somber map of profound darkness where forsaken subway stations and miles of desolate transit tunnels transform into the final, desperate sanctuary for those who truly have nowhere else left to turn. The homelessness crisis in 2026 represents the submerged iceberg of the city's deeper struggles. While the daily headlines meticulously track the fluctuating pulse of the stock market, the true, unfolding tragedy is quietly taking place in the crowded, temporary centers. The sheer numbers are staggering to comprehend. 350,000 individuals grappling with the brutal reality of unstable housing. But behind these cold digits are the very human faces of real people. They are the mothers valiantly striving to keep their children safe in the cramped confines of a car, and the hopeful workers who arrived in New York chasing a dream, only to find themselves registered into a shelter on their very first night. This is the foundational fabric of the city, drifting silently but undeniably toward an imminent and dangerous breaking point. Part 3. The Family Crisis, the Stolen Future. There's a pervasive and unfortunate misconception surrounding the unhoused population in New York. Many people tend to assume they are predominantly drifters or vagrants, rootless individuals with no connection to society. Yet the stark data from 2025 reveals a far more heartbreaking and complex narrative. A staggering 70% of those currently within the city's shelter system are, in fact, entire families. These were the hard-working individuals who tirelessly kept the city's intricate rhythm. The dedicated taxi drivers, the essential hospitality workers, the compassionate nursing assistants. But then, the unforgiving rent exclusion crisis struck with brutal force, and housing costs skyrocketed at a pace no wage could possibly hope to match. Consequently, they were quite literally pushed to the curb. The most profound and brutal damage is inflicted, without question, upon the children. Over 37,000 children in New York are trapped in a constant state of constant transition. They are shuttled relentlessly from one temporary cot to another, frequently changing schools, heartbreakingly losing friends, and tragically learning to live their formative years in a perpetual state of fear. A city that proudly proclaims itself a beacon of opportunity is, in a profound moral failure, allowing its very future to sleep out in the bitter cold. This isn't merely an economic misstep. It is a profound and unforgivable social betrayal. When a child's only semblance of a home is a crowded shelter bunk or a cold subway seat, the sacred promise of the American dream has not just been delayed, it has been permanently severed. Part 4. Roosevelt Avenue, the Urban Wild West. If you truly wish to witness an area where the system has completely and conspicuously retreated, where its presence has vanished almost entirely, then you must turn your gaze to Roosevelt Avenue. Spanning from 70th to 100th Street, this isn't simply a road, it's a living, breathing, biological, and social chaos zone. Here, the breakdown of established order doesn't patiently wait for the sun to set or the cover of night to descend. In plain, stark daylight, a thriving, informal street economy overtly dominates the landscape. We observe brazen, unauthorized exchanges, the overt sale of illicit materials, and a street-level environment that feels disturbingly akin to a lawless frontier. All too often, gangs exert more overt control and authority over these critical corners than the very municipal authorities tasked with upholding the law. A 14-year-old student residing in this very area described their daily walk to school not as a routine commute, but as a recurring nightmare. Children here are routinely witnessing scenes and occurrences that no human, especially a young one, should ever be exposed to in what purports to be a civilized society. Local businesses are visibly dying, not from lack of product, but because customers are simply too afraid to return. Roosevelt Avenue stands as a loud, defiant declaration, an undeniable testament that the city has, in a very tangible sense, lost its grip. It serves as a scathing indictment of a system that has shamefully abandoned its own dedicated shopkeepers and vulnerable families, leaving them to navigate a harrowing urban Wild West right in the heart of a modern metropolis. Part 5. The Tent Invasions, the Silent Occupation. Across the 5 bustling boroughs of New York, a profoundly different kind of occupation is quietly, yet relentlessly, taking place. It is a silent invasion comprised not of armies, but of thin fabric and lightweight nylon. From a sprawling Bronx to the historic streets of Harlem, makeshift tents are now lining the sidewalks, occupying the very physical space where the city's social safety net once reliably extended. These individuals sheltering in tents are not enemies of the city. They are, in truth, the abandoned citizens. They are the innocent casualties of a single, catastrophic medical bill, the sudden blow of a lost job, or the crushing weight of just 1 month of missing income that sends their lives spiraling. We meet people like the retired nurse who dedicated 20 years of her life to caring for others, only to find herself living in a tent beneath a highway overpass after an uninsured surgery tragically drained her entire life savings. Her poignant words echo the sentiment of many. I didn't lose, I was just left behind. The city's primary response to this burgeoning crisis has been to treat these tents with a disturbing detachment, as if they were nothing more than refused to be swept away. They organize highly publicized cleanups that effectively remove the fabric and structures, but they crucially fail to provide a stable door, a secure roof, or a safe bed. Predictably, within mere hours, the tents inevitably reappear. It is a senseless cycle of displacement that fundamentally solves nothing and only perpetuates the suffering. The true roots of this widespread chaos are not, in fact, on the sidewalks themselves. They are deeply embedded within a broken system that has tragically ceased protecting its most vulnerable residents, leaving them to fight for sheer survival, with nothing more than a thin sheet of plastic against the unforgiving New York winter. Part 6. The Subway Tunnels, the Underground Souls. As the biting temperatures plummet to unforgiving lows and the city's increasingly perilous streets become utterly uninhabitable, thousands upon thousands of New Yorkers find themselves with no viable alternative but to descend. They are compelled to seek a desperate refuge within the sprawling and intricate labyrinth of the subway system, a vast network many refer to simply as the underground city. Currently, more than 2,300 individuals seek nightly sanctuary within these dimly lit tunnels and bustling stations, a silent yet undeniably powerful testament to the deepening humanitarian crisis unfolding on the surface. Here, within this harsh and unforgiving subterranean world, the hard, unyielding subway seats grudgingly morph into makeshift beds, while discarded shopping carts are ingeniously repurposed, offering the only semblance of a closet. The air is perpetually thick and heavy, saturated with a mingled sense of grime, stale air, and quiet desperation. The incessant roar of passing trains provides a constant, grinding soundtrack to their lives, a ceaseless reminder of the world hurtling by. Meanwhile, a bone-chilling cold wind relentlessly whips through the dark passages. Yet for countless individuals, this profoundly challenging environment remains the sole home they have left in the world, serving as a final, desperate bulwark against the elements in society's profound indifference. The truly terrifying aspect of this situation isn't merely the hidden world that thrives beneath our bustling metropolis. It's the chilling and undeniable reality that the rest of New York has become profoundly desensitized to its very existence. We, the more privileged inhabitants, routinely walk past people curled up and sleeping on the grimy station floors, as if this heartbreaking sight were entirely normal. an accepted and unremarkable part of the urban tapestry. The subway, once a proud symbol of mobility, connection, and progress, has now tragically transformed into the final, desperate boundary between sheer existence and complete disappearance into the city's forgotten depths. It is a hidden city teeming with living spirits, enduring in perpetual darkness, while the world above ground stubbornly continues to ignore the structural rot and profound societal failures that mercilessly pushed them down there in the first place. Part 7. The Housing Exclusion, a Dream for the Elite. New York City constantly, and with an almost ritualistic regularity, engages in discussions about affordable housing. Yet, by the year 2026, those very words have tragically been stripped of all meaningful resonance, echoing hollowly and ironically against a backdrop of a worsening, intractable crisis. While the demand for housing has surged to unprecedented and desperate levels, the crucial supply has remained tragically stagnant, stubbornly refusing to expand and adequately meet the community's dire needs. The direct, devastating, and undeniable result is an epidemic of what can only be described as extreme rent exclusion, systematically forcing out those who simply cannot keep pace with the escalating costs. In the hallowed and often revered borough of Manhattan, average rents have skyrocketed to truly stratospheric levels, clearly designed not to accommodate or include the average working person, but rather to actively and unequivocally exclude them from the outset. When even a simple studio apartment commands a staggering price tag of over $4,500 per month, the city is, with terrifying clarity, sending an unmistakable and chilling message. Only the elite, the exceptionally wealthy, are truly welcome and can thrive here. The very support systems that were theoretically designed to help, such as vital rent assistance programs, are now buried under towering mountains of suffocating paperwork and ensnared by labyrinthine, bureaucratic gatekeeping, rendering vital assistance virtually impossible for those who need it most to access. The city may proudly claim to have constructed thousands of affordable units, but these units are, all too often, strategically placed far from where the actual jobs, essential opportunities, and vital community resources are located, creating new barriers. For many struggling New Yorkers, the agonizing and impossible choice boils down to an unaffordable home that might offer a shred of dignity, or a shelter that offers nothing but profound despair and further erosion of the spirit. The system doesn't fail because people lack the will or don't try to find stability. It fails because the designated path to stability has been rendered so bewilderingly complex, so deliberately riddled with insurmountable obstacles, that it has effectively transformed into a cruel maze with no discernible exit for those trapped within its confines. Part 8. The Outro, the Heart That Still Beats. As we reluctantly draw the curtain on this harrowing journey through the deep shadows and often overlooked realities of New York, we are left with a profoundly sobering and undeniable truth. New York is no longer the luminous city of dreams it once was for everyone. It has, for far too many, tragically transformed into a brutal city of survival gauntlets, where every single day is a relentless struggle for mere existence. We have collectively witnessed the stark reality of parallel worlds coexisting uneasily within the very same urban landscape, often just feet apart. We've encountered the profound struggles of families trapped in perpetual transition, bouncing from one temporary solution to another. We've walked through the lawless frontiers that have shockingly erupted on the city's very avenues, once symbols of progress. We have seen a city that is undeniably wealthy in its vast resources and shimmering facades, but, paradoxically, deeply impoverished in its capacity for genuine human compassion and empathy. Yet, beneath the visible layers of decay and the crushing weight of systemic neglect, there remains a stubborn, persistent pulse. It is the unwavering pulse of the people who, despite everything, defiantly refuse to be erased from existence. a living testament to their unbreakable spirit and enduring resilience. Reclaiming the very soul of New York isn't about simply clearing a sidewalk of encampments or passively passing another well-intentioned, but often ineffective policy that merely scratches the surface. It is at its core about truly recognizing and honoring the inherent common dignity of every single person we walk past on these streets, acknowledging their humanity, their stories, and their worth. We must earnestly ask ourselves a fundamental, searching question. Are we still capable of truly calling ourselves a compassionate community if we can calmly watch a child sleep on a cold subway station floor and, without a flicker of genuine concern or moral outrage, deem it normal? Thank you for watching Homeless US. This documentary was meticulously crafted not just to observe, but to warn, to provoke thought, and above all, to honor the profound resilience of those who, for far too long, have remained unseen, unheard, and systematically marginalized. If this powerful story has moved you in any way, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to help amplify these crucial voices and spread awareness. We, as a society, must collectively stop looking away from these painful realities that define so many lives. What is the one thing you saw today that irrevocably changed the way you perceive New York? Please, let us know your honest thoughts in the comments below. Let's initiate a vital conversation rooted in kindness, empathy, and collective responsibility for the well-being of our entire community. Until next time, keep your eyes wide open and your hearts deeply engaged. This is Homeless US, because every single person, without exception, truly deserves a safe place to call home, a place where their dignity is honored.